All right. Good day, good morning, good evening, and hello to everybody. Um, I'm doing this so that I can get better at communicating the information that I want to bring to you guys and sort of figure out the best way that I can address the debunks that a lot of people have when confronted with these plasma entities or beings. So, what I wanted to do first of all is here, let's start playing this video. I want to get good at this so I can do it live, no mistakes. So the video that you're seeing right there is the STS 1 or STS 75 mission, okay? And in this paper, the extraterrestrial life in the thermosphere, plasma, UAP, pre-life, fourth state of matter, right? These people have analyzed this video and many other STS mission videos, and they've documented the movement of these little orb things that you see right here, right? So people claim, oh, the research paper is fake. It doesn't matter at all because it's not peer reviewed or anything like that, you know. And that just really bugs me because then people don't even look at what they're presenting. So here I'm going to show exactly what they're presenting. So you see here on figure A, all those lines behind these, behind the little orbs, that's their path trajectory, okay? These things aren't moving in a straight line as people often will say, you know, when debunking these videos. They'll say, oh, it's dust or it's ice particles floating, right? But you can clearly see, and if you watch the video and pay attention to it, you'll see that these things actually, you know, curve. They arc. They, as this paper discusses, they seem to be performing in hunter-gatherer or hunter-predator behaviors, you know. Also, they'll merge together, you know, they'll speed up, accelerate. Let's see. Extraterrestrial plasmas have approached an electrified tether 12 miles in length, generating electromagnetic impulses into the space medium. All of these plasma things, they're not moving in a straight line. Okay, they arc, they turn, they behave in some weird ways. I'll play it again for you guys so that you can see. Actually, I'll come in here and I will just widen that for everybody. To center. Yeah, so just pay attention to what you're watching. And you'll notice that they don't move in a straight line. It's pretty apparent, honestly. And I just wanted to get this out of the way, you know, before moving forward into some more of the debunks that people have. Yeah, and honestly, you guys can watch this yourself and, you know, see how some of these just stop at midair, right? Like, ice doesn't stop and then move again, you know? There's a lot that's going on in this video, and it's spectacular for real. You have these toroidal donut-looking craft. Here we go. You can really see them arcing and turning in this video. And you know what? I actually think that there is a video that has those arcs and diagrams highlighted. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it for everybody. Yes, if you guys would like to, please like, comment, and subscribe. You guys don't really have to. This video probably is gonna suck, but that's cool with me, man. I just want to get this information out, and I'm sick and tired of people putting down this this phenomenon. You know. It swerves. And then it changes direction? Wow. No way. Wow, straight up 180. Yeah, so I'd like to hear a debunk on this, please, for anybody that that's always like, oh, those are ice particles, or that research paper can't be trusted because it's not from a peer-reviewed source. Okay, we'll explain how these supposed ice particles or dust are altering their courses and exhibiting hunter-predator behavior. Like literally feeding off of each other, some of them. And this is what the scientific paper says about it, is basically they combine electromagnetically. So if you have two of them that are like, I guess, north south or however that stuff works, they'll come together. But if you have some that are opposite, they'll actually repel. And so this is just laying down the framework for people to finally accept that these plasmas exist, right? And I know, it's hard for people to even fathom them being conscious in some way or whatever, and I'm not trying to do that just yet, but the premise is there. These plasmas exist, right? They're there. And now let's go back to this paper here. Maybe we will go plasmas, thermosphere, descending into the lower atmosphere, appear accelerated to exceptional velocities, alter direction, flight suddenly exhibit aerodynamic characteristics well beyond those of any known craft or missile, and have the maneuver and acceleration attributes of an inertia-less vehicle. Oh, and resemble the buoyant charged bodies. Right, that's an interesting thing right there, because it's suspected that these things, move with this thing called the Oregon energy, which is what Wilhelm Reich actually postulated, and what Trevor James Constable, who wrote the book Cosmic Pulse of Life and Living UFOs, he was the one who actually interviewed Kenneth Arnold, and in his book Living UFOs, Kenneth Arnold even describes, he says, I think these were biological of some sort. So yeah, just there's so much corroborating evidence supporting that these things truly exist, and that's what I am trying to attempt right now in here with this. Here we go. Transition. I just clicked on the video. We'll see if this is. Oh, I think this is a documentary, actually. Wait, electromagnetic extraterrestrials and alien sex? Wait, what? Alright, that was weird. Let's see. Yeah, actually, this is a really interesting video, but they do have a lot of depictions or different videos, STS videos of these plasmas. I've seen those, those pulsating, flaring lights. Could be lightning, though. Oh, shoot, what is this? Here we go.
NASA dismisses these objects as shooting stars, space junk, and ice crystals. But NASA is unable to explain how they self-illuminate, even at night, why they slow their descent into the atmosphere and don't burn up, why they can speed up and change direction, why they fly alongside the space shuttles, and why they can ascend into space. Perhaps some of this is space junk. However, we know that life is resilient and adaptive. Life has
Yes.
been found in every conceivable environment on Earth, from boiling hot springs to pools of radioactive waste. There is no reason to believe life cannot adapt to living in space.
And now, most recently, bacteria found on the, I think it was the Russian space shuttles.
Many of these structures behave like living organisms and should be classified as extraterrestrial extremophiles or biological UFOs. They engage in complex behaviors, complex interactions, will turn and follow other objects, making 45-degree turns, 90-degree turns, and sometimes completely turning around and reversing their direction of movement. They display behaviors and the intelligence
I've
of
actually
simple
seen
life
something do
forms.
that before.
These organisms also take a variety of shapes. The three most common are sperm-shaped, donut-shaped, and cone-shaped.
Now, what's interesting about the donut and cone are those are like the fundamental shapes to access zero-point energy and whatnot. Um, and in South America, South Africa, there have been tens of thousands of these stone donut-shaped um, rocks and cone-shaped rocks, and they ring when you hit them. And it's suspected that they use these to move megalithic stones, just like the people said they saw the guy who made Coral Castle. They say that he was holding some sort of cone thing or something like that. And the Anunnaki.
Surrounding space medium. The tether, which was 12 miles in length, was generating tremendous amounts of electromagnetic activity, and thus we see that like a moth drawn to a flame, hundreds, if not thousands, of these alien organisms began swarming around it, engaging in complex interactions with one another, and even crawling upon the tether, which was 12 miles long, and conducting electricity up and down its length, and generating electron beams which it was shooting into space.
And this is exactly what people say UFOs do over power lines.
If these extraterrestrial extremophiles are feeding on this energy is unknown. What we have seen here is evidence of alien extraterrestrial life forms engaging in complex, purposeful behaviors and coordinated interactions, which would be impossible if this were space junk or crystals of ice.
True, very true.
And we have seen that these extraterrestrial life forms are self-illuminating. They are attracted to sources of electromagnetic activity, which is why they've been filmed repeatedly descending from space into hurricanes and storm clouds and gathering by the hundreds and engaging in complex interactions.
Pretty crazy, right?
Clearly, their behavior is similar to a variety of life forms on Earth, including algae and other microorganisms. But these are
All right. So yeah, that is something I wanted to share with everybody, just so that we can get kind of a understanding of what these things could actually be, right? They could be a form of life, and of the many people who have encountered Foo Fighters or UFOs, what do they all say? They say, "Oh my goodness, it was like it was paying attention to me, or it knew I was there, or I felt it," or the World War II plane pilots, they said it felt like it was toying with me. There are other pilots recently who have said the exact same thing. It felt like it was toying with me. Like, this isn't some being flying around in a little craft or something like that, right? Now, that's not to say that that doesn't exist. Mohammed Hished, who was the Israel's space defense chief for like 20 or 30 years, came out recently, I think like 2 years ago, and said that the Galactic Federation is waiting for humanity to understand what space and spaceships actually are before making contact. Not only did he say that, but also the Canadian Prime Minister said that as well. There's a Galactic Federation, right? So maybe this could be what spaceships are, is that some of them are conscious beings, right? And space is I guess it would be discussing the ether, the 0 point, subspace, what Hal Puthoff was just recently talking about on Joe Rogan for quantum communication, tunneling through this upper layer of the universe that we exist in and going through the layer where our thoughts exist, right? And this is, how telepathy, ESP, remote viewing, clairvoyance, this is how all of that stuff works, is because our consciousness is actually non-localized and has the ability to interact with that subspace field, right? This is why the UFO phenomenon is just so wide and so all-encompassing. It covers everything: megalithic structures, like I said, ESP, spirituality stuff, ghost, right? And nuts and bolts crap. How are these people getting here, or non-human intelligence, or how is our military developing these, super futuristic aircraft and weapons? Well, they're utilizing the 0 point field, the ether, the subspace, to propagate energy. This is where free energy comes from, right? But we have been sold a fairy tale, and they've kept it going for so long. Who knows how long it's going to keep going, but I feel like a lot of people can handle this information now. I can. I'm certainly loving it and figuring it all out, Also, Ashton Forbes, he's, pushing boundaries on this whole MH370 video. Like, Ross Coulthart recently came out and, bashed him, was sending, derogatory and character assassination type messages to a guest that he had on, because that guest shared something of Ashton's. And so Ross Coulthart was like, hey, don't share this, dude. Don't share Ashton's stuff, because people are threatening me. They're sending kill threats or whatever, and he's a liar and he's a grifter. Like, all this type of embellishing language, right? That just is trying to paint a picture that Ashton is this horrible dude. But the funniest thing that a lot of people don't realize, and who come into contact with the MH370 teleportation videos, is that it's not just Ashton, it's not just him doing this. That was a mistake. Shit, more mistakes. Sorry, guys. It's not just him sharing this evidence. There's a huge community behind him who are pushing for this information to get out. And we've, I haven't really contributed much. I talk about it, but I'd like to think that I've opened some people's minds, right? Presenting the evidence in a thoughtful and clear manner. But let's just get those videos on here real fast. You know what I'm saying? It's the craziest videos in the entire world, on par with the plasmoid videos, probably better. Sorry for my nose also, it's a little clogged right now, but I will not let that stop me from trying to share this information. Yeah, I just want to get one good video. Maybe he has it side by side. Dang, why is it so hard to find just this video? Let's see. But yes, if you guys haven't checked him out, please go to his channel and have your minds blown. He's not just talking about these things, he's presenting the science. He has had scientists on, discussing this technology. They figured it out from zero to where we are now, where we have a freaking government agency, Sierra Nevada Corporation, implicated in these videos because they are the ones who receive the data from these surveillance cameras, and then they um, analyze the data, or they transform it into video for the defense agencies, right? It's yeah. So like there are these. This is going on right now. Like people are starting to wake up, and there's a fight. There's a literal war going on for your mind. You know, and this is one of the big guns that the side of truth has. And I feel like also, why not plasma stuff, but plasma entities. Yeah, did you see that? Just teleported. So insane. One more time, maybe. I clicked on it. Will it play? Dang, I need a new computer. But yeah. And just nuts, right? Yeah, that's a real video, you guys. But yeah, I digress. I just wanted to let you all know just how incredible this movement is going. And like I said, these plasma videos, or the existence of these plasma entities, is the next big thing to come out and be released, And I think it's just taking longer for people to accept it because it's so different, right? It's hard for a lot of people to just be like, okay, yeah, there's disembodied entities that exist in the upper atmosphere. Sure, a lot of people don't even want to do that. They don't want to approach that, and I can't blame them. And hence, that's why I go by the name of ontologically shook one, because I am ontologically shook, but in the best way it can be. Here we go. This is a quick video that I made, which kind of discusses the science, or an actual, what's it called, experiment that was done in space with plasmas. Let's see if it'll play with sound. No, I want sound, damn it. Oh, here we go. Alright, we'll start this over. 0 mistakes. Alright, I can't steal their thing. Let's keep it in my mind.
Life-like shapes, as well as a nucleus that may acquire DNA-like capabilities. For example, space is permeated by dust, and when a plasma incorporates dust grains, the plasma acquires an electric charge that sucks in electrons, which attract
Shit. Sorry. Oh, dang, that's embarrassing. Damn. Sorry, you guys. That was actually a UFO that I had filmed. Not that. Here. And this is what I see nightly. And I've actually seen some other pretty anomalous things up there. Like, they'll change directions. They'll be like red or blue. They'll change the rate of pulsating. Sometimes they'll be fast. Sometimes they'll be slow. They have weird shapes. I've also seen shadow craft that are in the shape of a diamond, or a sideways triangle, or a boomerang. And also a very interesting orange orb that appeared outside of my peripheral. I watched it come in straight right above me and then zoom off, and I had to sit up and I watched it go over the horizon, which is, you could see a good 3 miles out. And yeah, it was incredible. And anybody can do this, and this is what Trevor James Constable has been trying to teach people about, is like, you really just have to go outside and call these beings, it sounds super crazy, but I think that they are actually curious about us. Oh shit. Damn, I gotta erase some of these. What the fuck? Okay, that was the last time y'all seen those. Alright, let's see. I had one video that I really wanted to share with you all. Here we go. Right here.
discuss the nature of plasma. Plasma may not just be the fourth state of matter as we understand it. You have to go back to origins. Who coined it? Irving Langmuir, in 1932 Nobel Prize winner. Why did he call it plasma? Because it reminded him so much of what? Of blood. He believed that these could be actually capable of life. And I know a lot of people say, oh, he's gone off the deep end, but no, look into the work of Hans Alfvén. Hans Alfvén, the father of magnetohydrodynamics, wrote, I believe it was called Cosmic Plasma. It was in Astrophysics and Space Science, volume 82. Hans Alfvén was called Cosmic Plasma. And in it, Alfvén speaks to plasma not only being capable of action, but intention. Intention, gentlemen. This is a theory of consciousness. This is sentience. These could actually be a type of life form. Could you imagine? Not only capable of HI, but a life form. So totally.
Okay. So, right there, he's talking about these things having the, intentions or possibly being a life form, right? Now, what was that STS video that I just shared showing them, behaving in hunter-gatherer type behavior, changing direction, stopping, consuming one another, right? This is intention, this is the basis of consciousness, right? And when you start tying in everybody else's accounts or encounters and stuff like that, experiences, it paints a picture that what we're dealing with is something akin to a spirit, I guess you could say. But I like to look at it more of like a scientific matter, because then you get too far into religion and people start having a preconceived notion, and that's a human thing to do, but I think that we should really separate that and just look at it for what it is, and they could be the basis for, things like demons or jinn or angelic beings or even God. The Kordetsky clouds is a great example. There's a huge plasmatic cloud in the Lagrange points by the moon, which is locked in a gravitational hold. And yeah, that could be a plasma in itself. It's speculated that is actually a almost like a super intelligence, because when plasma comes together, they become more complex in their shape, right? And with more complexity comes, more abilities or decisions that one can make, right? I don't know. I'm getting a little too far off into the weeds. But I think that I liked that Salvatore Pais video that I made in conjunction with the Extraterrestrial Life paper and also the STS-75 videos where it shows them actually changing directions. I think that could be a good way to start off my next video, or present this evidence into a way that'll capture people and hopefully keep their attention and not just blow me off really fast. Or not just me, it's not me, it's this whole entire phenomenon. Blow it off and think that it's hogwash or something. But yeah, you guys, I just wanted to jump on and put my reps in for this so that I can one day just do this live and be like a champion at bringing up videos and stuff like that, or documents one day. But until then, yeah, I hope everyone has a great night or morning or evening or afternoon. And if you enjoyed this video, let me know. If there was something that you would like me to cover and discuss, just comment it. And if there was something that you think that I can improve on, presenting this evidence, please, I am open to criticism. Yeah. Much love. Peace out.